Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm here to help you interpret your dreams with the Spirit of Truth, the one who gives the dreams. So, today I wanted to kind of give a general overview of dreams, what they are, and some really common examples to hopefully help you and what you're going through. So, dreams, they're communication from the King of the universe, and they're taught in parables, in symbols. They're another language, but he'll use things even in your everyday life for you to get and understand because he wants you to get it because he is a good dad. And let's talk about some of these things. When you're asleep, your spirit is still awake. So you're like in another realm when you're asleep. But when you wake up, all of a sudden, how many of you have had dreams that have started to like fade away and you can't remember your dreams? But it's so important right when you wake up to write those dreams down because you go from the spirit realm into this earth realm and you start to forget. And dreams are of the deep. Let me read you something out of this book called First Corinthians chapter 2. It says there's things that our dad has prepared for us that are really good for those who love him. These things that our Father revealed to us is by his Spirit. And the Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of our Father. So the deep things, a lot of you guys are really deep dreamers, having 5 to 10 dreams a night, very vivid, very imagination, and they seem crazy, especially a lot of you young folks, all right? They seem crazy to you, and you're like, my dreams don't make any sense. So we're going to talk about what these dreams are. Okay, so a lot of people have dreams about nightmares, and what nightmares are the revealing things that have happened to us in our past through trauma. We've got wounding in our soul, and the good news is your Father in heaven has decided to reveal these things to you so you can get healing and breakthrough. Why is it that our mamas, our grandmamas, a lot of them have this dream gift, right? But it's really heavy today. It is really heavy. Could it be that our Father in heaven has decided to choose a generation of chain breakers? And if you're chosen to be a chain breaker, it's not for wimps. It's for warriors. It also means that you have a sensitive heart to hear his spirit and he trusts you. He wants to speak these things to you and he trusts you and he wants you to get it and he wants you to do something with it. Generational things and this wounding. What would be some examples of that? Well, if you have dreams about being in your grandparents' house, that's a generational dream. If you have dreams about you, your mama, your grandmama, that's a generational dream. It could be on the other side. It could be like your great-grandpa, your grandpa, and your dad. But most of the time it's going to land on you because that's who he's dealing with. It could be your mom, you, and your child, right? Or your dad, you, and your child. These are symbols. These are just direct things of generational dreams. And in the Word, you can go and you can find where it talks about to the second and the third generation. There's a thing called curses and it'll follow. But I want to be here to shed some light on it and speak light because you can also break those curses to get breakthrough and receive the blessings. There is always an exchange. And if you understand dream language, you will know that there's an exchange. There's an exchange for bad to good. There's an exchange for problems in this earth to solutions, right? That we can pull down from another realm, because a lot of times things that need next level solutions are going to have to come from a next level. So if you're having nightmares of wounding, you gotta ask. It also could be like somebody old trying to chase you or something like that, or hurt you. An example, this one woman had this dream repeating of like this person wanted to kill her. And I asked her, does she have premature death in her family? And she said yes. People had died early, like in their 50s, some even earlier than that in her family. Well, it was this spirit of death that was chasing her. So we just broke that off, and we broke that off. And what do I mean by that? Well, in order to break or kick something out, you've got to have the one who creates light in. He's the one who can kick it out. It's Yahweh. It's Yahweh. Jesus is the one that you have to invite into your heart because he's the only one who can kick it out. He's also the only one that can cleanse the blood. He's also the one that releases the blessings to generations. So you've got to invite him in. He's the one to kick it out. All right. So a lot of times warfare dreams, they just reveal like wounding, but sometimes you could be fixing to step into a next level of something and you're getting promoted, and there could be pushback, resistance, maybe an old voice trying to remind you of something. You're like, I thought I conquered that already. Well, you just remind that voice in your dream that's coming to talk past stuff to you. Remind him what you did with the King of Kings and tell him to get on going, right? Tell him, see you later, that you're going to put a stop to that voice and you're going to walk into your next levels, because that's the thing that happens too. Some of you are dreaming 5 to 10 dreams a night. Write your dreams down. You've got to write it down. You've got to make it plain. And that way, if you, like the book of Job says, if you don't get it one way, you'll get it another. And an example of that, one person had this dream. It was like a series of dreams in one night. And this person thought that all the dreams meant something totally different. Well, here's the theme in it, because you've got to find the theme. He went to a mountain, he went to a tall apartment, and he went to the clouds, right? Those are 3 very different places, but they're also next level. They're also a higher perspective, right? And he was there with his father, right? So he was living an ascended life. So the 3 dreams were one and the same. So you've got to look for those themes in the dream. The theme of the dream will help you tremendously. It could be something in your everyday life, but look in your series of dreams. If you're having multiple dreams of one night, it could be spoken one way or another. Try and find the connection between them to sync it. All right, repeating dreams, we've talked about that. Have you ever had dreams and they've repeated and then they've happened in real life? Well, there's this book named Genesis that says that when they've been repeated, they'll happen, and they'll happen quickly. You know, deja vu is another one. People will think like, oh, that's so weird. I feel like I've been here before. Well, it's probably something that's dropped in your spirit, and that's why that you feel like you've been there before, because you have. But again, you know, our minds are earthly. Our spirit is of another world, right? So what we want to do here on Dream Interpretations is help you to mesh them together. They're revealing solutions for you, for your family, for your school, for your work, for, you know, even next level things. So that's what they do. These dreams are solutions. A lot of times people will have dreams and then they'll happen in real life. You know, it's letting you know that you're on the right path. Also grabbing your attention to let you know that there's a higher power, so you can grab a hold and know, like, this is not normal. This has no earthly wisdom in it. And that's because it's not. It's heavenly wisdom. It's spiritual, right? And I don't mean turning to rocks or anything like that. There's a higher power. You know, one time I went to this festival and this girl was wearing all these crystals on her neck. And she had this dream that she was sacrificed repeatedly over and over and over again and beamed into the universe, where she was constantly sacrificed. I took hold of that rock. I held it. I was like, you know, there's only one who paid the true sacrifice for you. And she's like, yeah, you know, she actually knew Yahweh. She knew the Spirit of truth, and she turned away from a while and turned to different things, a different source, because previously she saw no power. She was raised in the church. She saw no power. In fact, she thought it was very critical and hypocritical. They didn't, you know, they said they did one thing. They said, we believe in the power. We believe all this, but she saw no power, or it was all this judgment. You can't do this. They suffered her creativity, and she felt like she had to live inside of a box. But let me tell you, friends, you have a creative gift, and it's from Him. And you have a prophetic gift, and it's from Him. And if you're seeing things happen in the night and you're walking them in the daytime, it is your gift, whether you've turned to your Father or not. I'm here to tell you, and if you're finding this video, it's to awaken you to your Father, Jesus, who has given you these dreams in the first place, and you can't shake it, and you can't understand it. You're having an encounter with Him, and that power crushes those crystals. It crushes those rocks. And in her dream, I told her, He is the only one. Jesus paid the ultimate sacrifice, and He is the only one that can die and resurrect again, and you don't have to be sacrificed over and over again. She was dabbling in some things that did sacrifices, right? That did sacrifices, but it wasn't the right kind of sacrifice. And that source of power gave her, really, it was no true power. That's why she couldn't get her breakthrough. It's why she couldn't get her breakthrough. And if it's you and you're not getting your breakthrough through mediums, crystals, tarot cards, all these things. That's why you're not getting your breakthrough, but you're still having these dreams. I want to encourage you and tell you the truth, to turn from the source to the real source. You know, people only want to copy valuable things, right? A true valuable thing. People don't copy $1 bills. They copy and counterfeit $100 bills. There's one true source of light. There's one true source of power, and it trumps that other power every single time. That's why you're not getting the breakthrough. I've seen people go to witches and get like witches to bite their warts off their hand. They were having such issues, and they're going through so much anxiety, and they felt some kind of power within these sources. But the truth is, all of a sudden, a rush of peace went over them when the Holy Spirit came over and transformed them with truth. When you have a dream, you're having an encounter with the Spirit of truth that is revealing things in you, whether it's nightmares or not, so you can level up, heal that wounding, and get to the next place, because all things from the Creator of light are good for you. So I just feel like right now, if this is a time where you have turned to crystals, mediums, or something like that, this is just where we ask your Father, your Daddy God, you know, and maybe you've never heard of him like that before. Maybe you've never heard of him like your father thought of him like that. You've just heard of him as God, the all-powerful one that everybody that wants to do boring church stuff goes to. I promise you, he is not like that at all. He's the one who gave you that gift. There's someone on here right now that's like really gifted at art, and I could see it's a girl, and she like scribbles and does all these fantastic drawings, and they're really colorful. It's the Lord who gave you that gift. It's your Father, Yahweh, and you're seeing all these things because they're from him, and they're very creative. And where you may have turned to dark drawings before, there's a Spirit of light, and you can still keep all your creative skills that he has for you, but when you start seeing it in a new way. So come on, right now, if this is you and you have turned to medium or tarot cards or crystals instead of the one true source of power, this is a good time to just say, Father, I just repent. I am so sorry, God, for calling to these things when I should have been calling to you, for calling to these fake things that try to impersonate. They're impersonators instead of calling to you. And I want to get it. Spirit of truth, come right now. Come over me and wash me clean. And I just want to invite you to be in my heart, Spirit of truth, to come into my heart right now and to reveal all truth and mysteries that you want me to know and all the good plans you have for me. And would you just come clear like Jesus? Come clear like Jesus. So Holy Spirit, I just pray that over every person watching right now, that you would have a divine encounter and just wash over them. And I speak Jesus to you in your dreams, that you would grab a hold of the Creator that created you. Thank you for inviting him into your heart. And this is the point when you don't pick up those crystals anymore. You start turning to the truth in his word. And I promise, when you find out that some of your dreams are symbols, you can even Google search the like keywords that are happening in your dreams and Google them to the Bible. And yeah, I said the Bible word, and some of you on here might be like, oh, that's where she lost me. She used Christianese, that boring stuff. But you got to know where to find the true source, okay? And it's going to rock your world when you find out that you're having dreams and they're in the word and they're crazy, even like rats, mice, snakes. And some of you on here are having dreams like that. You're going to find it in the word and you're going to be like, that's so crazy. Some of you, I've met people that have had dreams of things scaling and flaking, like dead skin on their arms or like wounds, and that's in the word. You can find all these things: big whales, sharks, things that are after the blood, vampires. You're going to find all these things that are after the blood. You're creative. That's why you're having the dreams. And it's going to sync with you, and you're going to get it, and you're never going to be the same, and you're going to flow in the word, and you're going to grab it and be like, I cannot believe I'm getting so much more revelation and truth, and it's so much more powerful. So do not drop this video because I used a Christian word. I'm here to tell you the truth. Try it out. Try it out. I have been there, and been blessed to interpret dreams. And I'm not shaming or anything. It doesn't matter. Sin is sin, like we've all done it. But I've been blessed to interpret dreams of tarot card readers, psychics, people and women that have claimed that they're witches. And you know what? They said that they've gotten more revelation than they have had in so many years. So do that. Okay, encounters and dreams. You can have encounters and dreams. You can have discerning of spirits in dreams. And that just lets you know what spirit is inside going on in those people. Not to condemn, right? Because we don't want to be like condemning just like we were once condemned. This is a chance and an opportunity to level up. So you could be discerning things in your dreams. You could get warning dreams. You could get flushing dreams. And what do I talk about that? Bathroom dreams. Bathroom dreams where you purge the junk out of your life, right? To do a cleanse. And some of you may go to bed tonight having a dream that you had a cleanse. You could have healing and deliverance happen in your dreams. Wake up totally new and like, that's so crazy. Some of you have had dreams where you've had like, I'll just say like a crab. And it could be like you're crabby with a hard shell with like, that means a hard heart, all right? So it could be a play on words, and play on words is so important. And you wake up the next day feeling refreshed and more joyful. Don't overlook it. If you're having dreams of hard things like a hard shell and then it's removed, maybe you flipped it over and that crab is gone, and the next day you feel so joyful, or you had a dream about a song, wanting to play a new song, that's a new song on your lips. That's a new flow in your life, right? And that's something from the one who gives the spirit of joy. And so notice these things that happen, and you are a discerner. If you're having dreams, things will sync at night with your dreams, and they'll sync in the daytime. And that is to let you know that you need to pay attention, because prophetic people are deep. They're deep and they're sensitive to the spirit. That's why you're having all of these dreams. So yeah, bathroom dreams, really common. Could be like a shower or a bathtub and you're getting washed, which is also in that word that I talked about, the B-I-B-L-E. You're going to find that. You're going to find where they got shovels and they went outside their camp and they relieved themselves and dug it outside of the camp because they didn't want that junk on the inside of them. You're going to see where it talks about people getting in the bathtub before they go into the temple, which is right now, this is called our temple, our hearts. And back in the old days, before Jesus came, you know, we don't have to do that anymore. We can sink. He lives inside of our hearts. We don't have to go to a building, right? So it's the same. Like, you don't have to just go to church. I encourage you, you know, when you're ready, you go. So I'm speaking to all of you right now that have stepped out for a while, but God is calling you back home. And don't put a hard heart up, because some of these videos talk about Jesus. They talk about the word, because someone's got to be put into your path to show you the way and the light. And if you're having dreams of being pointed to in a certain way, and a light, whether a light bulb, a lamp, a flashlight turning on, that is what I'm talking about. And you can also find it in the word. So many symbols in the word, even animals, dogs, you know, rivers, lakes, trees, axes, things to be cut down, sand, seasons, ants, like all sorts of crazy things, and bugs and animals and plants and places. And crazy things like a whole bunch of eyeballs on some kind of angelic being. And you're going to be blown away by the creativeness from the Creator. So I just want to encourage you to turn to the one true source, and just to open up your imagination for all of these symbols that you may think that don't make any sense. There is a place that you can go and you're going to get sense made of them, and there's only one way. All right, that's all for now. There's a whole bunch more to deal with dreams, but in a rundown, you know, you could have all of these different experiences: healing, deliverance, encounters, healing of trauma and old wounding, purging of old things, discernment in dreams, or you could have helpers show up in your dreams, which could be angelic beings. And I know you like the sound of that, because it's those who have the inheritance that receive that kind of help, angelic help. How do you get the inheritance? By asking Daddy in your heart. So I love you. You have a good day. I'll make some videos to kind of shorten up specific things, but I just wanted to broaden horizons today so that you can get it and know that there's more for you from Him.